All right, it's 6 o'clock, so we're gonna start. Today meeting. All right, today meeting is very fun. Okay, so we're gonna have presentations. Okay, and we're gonna conclude this semester, the very last class. Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay. I have a couple of announcements. The first thing is I want to talk about how to determine your rank in the simulations. Okay? So as I already announced it, I'm gonna consider two dimensions of performance in the simulation. The first thing is balanced scorecard, and second one is the financial measures. Okay, so it is very close. Your performance between teams are very close. Then I'm gonna give the same rank. Okay, so for example, if Andrew is very high in the balanced scorecard, but Baldwin is very high in the financial measures, their performance are very close, then I will give the same first rank for both teams. Okay, this gives the effect of your curve on your grade. That is my best to do so. Okay. So I just look over your numbers. Okay. And then based on these two dimensions, balanced scorecard and the financial measures, I just find that Team Digby is great. It has a great performance. So Team Digby is the first rank. So Team Digby, you will have 100. Okay? And I found that Team Chester and Baldwin, actually Team Chester is the second and Team Baldwin is the third, but Chester Baldwin has very similar results. So I just decided Team Chester and Baldwin, you will have the second rank. Okay? Second rank. All right, both teams. Chester, Baldwin, second rank. And Team Andrew is third, not fourth. Okay? All right, so Team Digby is the first rank. You will have 100. Team Chester, Baldwin, both teams are second. And Team Andrew is third. Okay? So this is the rank of your simulations. Okay? So that's it. And then, so we don't have 4 teams presentations today. Okay? So we already did this. Okay? You go to Canvas. Okay? And you can find where is it? BUS685 presentation 3, right? All right, survey. Okay, you can find BUS685 and presentation 3. In this, okay, you can evaluate the team's presentations. Okay, the presentation of teams. Okay? BUS685 presentation 3. Okay, so we did this before, so you are familiar with this. Okay, I just wanna remind you to do that. All right, clear? Okay. The one last thing is, okay. In the last week, I tried to adjust our schedule a little bit because of my medical conditions. Okay, and some students sent an email. Okay, and they gave me a lot of good words, and also some students are not. They are wondering what my medical condition is. So, because my medical treatment was impacting our schedule, our class. Okay? I feel like I need to let you know a little bit details. Okay, so my disease I'm treating right now is the fourth stage. Liver metastatic colon cancer. All right. So fourth stage, liver metastatic colon cancer. So it is very, very serious situations. Okay? Very serious situations. Okay. My medical condition is really, really serious. It's a life-threatening, situations. But my physical condition is still good. All right, my physical condition is still good. I'm still running 6 miles a day. Okay, 6 miles a day. Okay, or 4 miles a day, whatever. Okay, so my physical condition is still good. So that's why I need to have a series, okay, several times of surgeries and the future treatment. Okay, I already got 1 year long, the chemotherapy. All right, chemotherapy. So it gave me a lot of pains and a lot of what is that? So like a mental, physical, mental, problems. But I'm still good. I'm still good. And also, actually, this class, including the undergraduate class, my students helped me a lot. You actually helped a lot. Okay? When I was doing my classes, I was so energetic. Okay? So that's good. That's good. All right. I'm really want to say, thank you so much, you guys. All right, thank you so much, you guys. Because of you, I was enjoying this time. Okay, I was enjoying this semester. Okay, I like this class a lot. Okay, all right. So I hopefully you also enjoy this class a lot. Okay, all right, good. All right, so now I think I'm ready to proceed. All right, thank you, Carson. Thank you, Carson. All right, I am now ready to proceed to the simulations. So now, so everyone ready? If you are ready to do your presentations, please say yes. Let me make sure. Okay. All right, that's good. Good. All right. So, which team wanna go first? Okay. So we are ready. Which team wanna go first? All right, Everett. What is your team? Everett is team. Team Chester. Okay. All right, Team Chester. And Everett, you will be the presenter. Who is your presenter? Team Chester. Everett. Okay. All right. So Everett. Now you are the presenter. So as soon as you are ready, please start. All right. So any other teams go next? Please let me know. All right, I see it. Team Chester, gone with the win.
So yeah, we are Team Chester, or we're Team Going with the Wind, and our team name in the simulation is Chester. So our two products are Cake and Cedar. Just both are low tech. This is kind of a review for you guys because we've been talking about this in every presentation. We are pursuing a focused, low cost leadership strategy. In terms of performance and size, we are keeping Cake specifically in the US market. And then we are continuing to develop our second product, Cedar, for Germany and China. We did intentionally produce less in Germany and more in China due to market demand. And we did let our second product, Cedar, develop over a year so that it would be more competitive for the final round.
Right.
Marketing and promotions. We put more money into promotions and marketing at the beginning with the potential to reduce marketing once customer awareness increased. We lowered the cost of cake in the U.S. to stay competitive. We are the low-cost leaders in the U.S. with cake, keeping our marketing promotions low for Cedar but still present customer awareness. We will increase this for the next round. We're not forecasting as much Cedar in Germany because we know that it's not competitive. forecasted for cedar in China as market expands.
Okay.
Yeah, so we kind of talked a lot about, we mentioned it a bunch of times, but, we put a lot of money in automation and upfront and capacity in our plants. One of the things that we did later in the later rounds, we stopped investing much in automation and plant capacity just because, we weren't going to see that return on those things late in the later rounds. Since we knew, we kind of wanted to save some money to increase our cash position going into later rounds, which, Ever will talk about finance here in a second. But, we produced slightly more than forecasted, obviously, for both products. And we tried to keep plant utilization really high, especially for cake. But we'll talk about again, one of our shortcomings was we just did not produce enough early on. We had a really good product in cake, and we did not produce enough. So we really tried to catch back by producing a lot of product later on, especially with the low cost strategy, trying to sell a lot of product and increase that contribution margin. We just didn't sell enough, and produce enough early on to meet, market demands.
Okay.
I think I got the next slide too. Yeah, we hitting on the custom modules a little bit. In the third round, we started investing in the human resources. We went a lot. It was so late in the ball game that we started doing that we just went a lot into sales compensation, to try to increase the margin in our sales. And then, in the last round, we invested slightly in the total management. In each section, we weren't really sure exactly, where to see if we had more rounds, we'd be able to, I guess, see how, investing in each category kind of, how the performance changed based on that, and we could adjust based, but we didn't have as many rounds, so we couldn't really get a good measure to kind of go off of. But yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Yeah. So for finance, our main objectives stayed the same throughout our entire round, and so or mostly stayed the same throughout all the rounds. One of them being staying away from emergency loans. We only hit that one time, and it wasn't a lot. So we feel like we did pretty good there, and then also being a good cash position for the following years that we'll be able to invest in our plant as necessary. Towards the later rounds, though, we wanted to find ways to increase profit and stock prices to really just be, really hitting that growth stage. So the first 2 to 3 rounds, we were really focused on investing in plant automations and investing in our products. But the last 2 rounds, we really focused on how can we really capitalize on those investments, get our return on investments, and increase our profit and stock prices. And so you'll see that here. This is where we did investments. And so our stock prices compared to everyone else's, we're the green line. We kind of dipped a little bit here. Here's where we realized that we under forecasted our main U.S. product, cake, and also where we realized that we started investing in human resources. So you can see here is where it really took off, and you can see here is where we really focused on not as much as investing in our plant and automation, but really capitalize on it and really focusing on our product optimization. And so for the next round, we did went ahead and scheduled everything out if we were to do a next round. And it said that our stock prices were forecasted. If we hit all of our marks like we did last round, it would be in the 50s. So we would continue on in this trajectory.
Okay. All right.
A big thing that we were, for this last round, we were the profit leaders just by a few $100s, which was showing that we were definitely in the right place. Our contribution margin, though it did increase a little bit, we were not as competitive with other contribution margins, but this was because of our low cost strategy. We had to produce more and charge a lower cost for our products. But because we were able to produce a lot more, we were still able to see that high return.
Mhm. Okay.
Summary from what we've learned over the past few rounds here is a little bit of a recap. We didn't invest enough in our second product early enough. If we were to go back, we would invest in our second product from the very get-go so that we can stay competitive in the China and Germany low-tech markets. Our product, Cedar here, our secondary product, was still a little bit behind the other products in that market. And then also we were a little too conservative with our US-based product. It was the one that we invested heavily in, and we should have had more faith in it. We ran out of margin, or ran out of inventory a few rounds, and we left money on the table there. So that's why we increased production for this product specifically in the final rounds, and you can see that paid dividends there. The last thing that we realized was always check the additional modules because there might be something that you're not investing in. Human error.
All right. Okay. All right. It's good. That's great. So that's it. All right. Any question, comments on Team Chester? All right. No question. No comment. Great work. Yes. Yes. All right. Team Chester, you did great work. Okay. So I want to talk about a little bit about the market because all the strategies start from the market. Okay. And this stage, okay, how to calculate your market, the total size. The total size of market is provided on these simulations. Okay. So how to calculate it? You have a total market size. Okay. Then how many competitors you have? You have it. Okay. 4 teams. Okay. So roughly, okay, total market divided by 4, okay, is about 25% of market is your potential market. Okay, roughly like this. Okay, then based on this calculation, you start to set up your own strategy. Okay, so this is a very simple, but the problem is in the reality. There's no information, no data to calculate this. Okay, this is a big problem. But the good news is there's a white paper or white books in each industry. All right, in the real world, real business. Okay, so you can use this information source. This white paper, white book provides the market size. All right, but they do not provide perfect information. So you need to think about by yourself to have a good sense about your market, all right, your market size. For example, healthcare industry then is working for healthcare industry, hospitals, and some pharmaceuticals, companies, whatever, okay? So they have their own, information source, okay? Data source, okay? Then, but there's no market size if, there's no market size not available of, the ROM, okay? ROM. So the market size of ROM in the healthcare industry, if it's not available, what are you gonna do? You use that information from the white paper, white book, all right? And then we only use the number of population too, because the number of population is available, all right? So if an area the market size is available, and then you can proportionize the population of that area into the case of Rome. Okay, so that area is 10 times of population, but their market size. Then the Rome's healthcare market size is what? Yes, 10%. Okay? The population is just 10%, something like that. This gives a rough calculation of your market size, something like that. So you should use this information source, but there is no perfect, ready to use information, data, no, in the reality. So you should use it and calculate it by yourself. Then you will have a better sense about your market size. Okay, all right. In this simulation, actually this simulation provides the exact number of your market size, but it's not realistic. Okay? Not realistic, but it still gives a chance to practice how to calculate, how to forecast your market. Okay, got it? All right. So please remember that all the strategy is starting from the good sense of your market. Okay. All right. Good. Good, Team Chester. Then, who is the next? All right, Tyler, Team Andrew. So Tyler, you will be the presenter. Okay. So Tyler. You are the presenter, Tyler. All right, I can see it. Tyler Capsin, Team Andrews.
Alrighty, so we are Team Andrews. And we'll go on to the next slide.
So for research and development, our two products were Able and Acre. And I think last presentation we mentioned that our low-tech product had not been launched yet in China. So we launched both products in all three segments. And both were held at the second position for top product. So they did pretty well in all three segments. We had hoped that maybe we were going to be able to develop a new product, but we weren't able to get to that point because we had to work on some financials with the two products that we had already in play in the game. So we focused more heavily on the last round and this round that will end tomorrow on making sure that Able and Acre are in a good place financially going into the last round.
Okay.
So for marketing, we have a pretty good market share with each of our products in each country. 3% of the market share for our low-tech product in China, and it was the top product in China. The big mistake we made with marketing is that I was looking at demand for each segment in each country, and I was mistakenly thinking I decided to do our forecast as all of the demand instead of a portion of the demand, which drove up our cost, which made us have negative profit, which made us have a negative cash balance and take an emergency loan and such like that. And that's why if you look at our financials, our profit was negative, but our strategy, I think, was sound. It was just human error, basically, on my part in putting the numbers. So as you can see right here, our market share is pretty good for all of the countries here.
Yeah.
So for our production, we still exceeded capacity, but we really over exceeded last round, so we cut back on that in order to kind of make it a little better. And then we decreased our forecast to try and sell the inventory we already had, since we had a lot of excess inventory from the previous round, so we're trying to get rid of that this round.
Okay.
In terms of finance, we ended up investing a lot going into the earlier rounds, and because of the mistake we made with our forecasting, we had to take out an emergency loan, not this current round, but the round before, and we've been trying to turn that around, trying to reduce the amount of loss on profit that we've been getting, and we haven't quite been able to do that yet. However, in terms of sales, we have the highest sales in both the U.S. and in China, and we have the second highest sales in Germany. And so overall, as long as we can make sure that we're not making big mistakes along the way in terms of our financing, I think we actually have a very sound strategy.
That's right. That's right.
And that is it. So yeah, just like I said, basically it was human error on our part, interpreting the numbers, which ended up skewing everything. But I think overall our strategy was sound, basically pursuing a high tech and low tech product in each country. And but yeah, that's the end of our presentation.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So I talk about external and internal consistency. So external consistency is between your corporation, your company, and external environments. Internal consistency between your decisions. Actually, you have great external consistency. Okay? That's why your market share is still good. Okay? But your financial measure is not good because internal consistency was a problem. Okay? So financial issues and forecasting issues, it was a problem with it. Okay? So it's good. It's still good because that's the purpose of this simulation is learning. Okay? Learning. Right. So you run this. And one more point is the interconnectedness between your decisions, departmental strategies. Okay? Your team, actually all the teams, okay, you practice, you actually see how the departmental strategies are connected with each other. Okay, so one departmental decision can impact other departments' decisions. Okay, all those. Okay, so marketing influence operation, operation influence R&D, R&D influence HR, something like that. Okay, so all the departmental decisions are interconnected. Okay, you should remember this. Okay, you should remember this. Good, great. Okay. Any question, comment? All right, team, Andrew, any question, comment? No? Okay, let's move. Then who is the next? We have Baldwin and Dippy. Team Baldwin. Okay. So who is, okay, Evan, you will be the presenter. Okay. Okay, now Evan, you are the presenter.
Okay, so we're Team Baldwin, and I will go ahead and move into the next slide.
Okay, so that's me. And I'm also going to be doing the marketing because Will is doing a job interview. So good luck to him. So we continued pushing both of our products. We just have the two, just continued to push them up as much as we could get them within a year development, because we had that accident in the second round where we overdeveloped without realizing it went past the year mark, and then we had to wait another year for one of our products. So we were careful not to do that. We continued to focus on the US, so we've shifted our focus from China to the US around back. And the goal was to remain kind of at the higher end of the circles as they move. And then now that it's running into the last round, we're going to pull back a little bit on that. And then we wanted to stay centered in the customer buying criteria. So really, we just tried to develop our products kind of as much as we could within that year frame. And then with the marketing, we did lower the price a little bit, again, but we were still within the customer price criteria because we noticed that accessibility was our biggest issue really with the customers. We had a very low customer score, so we were trying to figure out ways to change that. And it's still an issue even after this round. So what we've tried to fix it didn't. So we're going to have to reinvestigate the situation and come at it from a different angle, because that's our biggest issue at the moment. So we focused first on the US, then China, and then a little bit on Germany in terms of where our money went. So we put the most money into the US and then China, and then not very much in Germany at all. Promo and sales budget were in there, just in a steady trend area. And then we increased our forecasting by a small amount. And then with HR, we just continued to put in kind of a midline amount in there. And then the new module, the quality module, I think kind of put us in trouble. We ended up taking, I think, an emergency loan this round because we certainly poured a little bit too much money into the new module, because I don't think we took enough time to really understand what everything was. So we're going to be a little bit more mindful of that this next go round.
All right, marketing teams. This is not team specific comment. Actually, this is for every teams. Okay? This is a strategic management simulations, but you recognize this. This simulation is very similar, not similar. It's consistent with marketing things. Okay, the marketing things you learned, I believe you learned 4 P's, right? 4 P's. What is that? Product, price, promotion, place. 4 P's. You should remember this. Okay, you are an MBA. Okay, so product, price, promotion, and place. So we talk about product. Okay, where your product is located. This is we talk about a lot. Okay, in the market. Where is it? Where is it? Then price. Okay, I talked about a little bit about your pricing strategy. The lower price, the better? No, you need to find an appropriate price. Okay? So pricing strategy is important. Okay. Then promotion, your marketing budgets, okay? Customer accessibility. This is promotions. And place, your market. Okay? Your market is distributed internationally, globally. All right. So you need to consider, okay, what the characteristics of your each market, your individual markets. Okay. Then these are 4 P's framework. Okay. So this simulation is very, be ready to apply these 4 P's categories. Okay. So most of your decisions are involved with these 4 P's. Okay. All right. So I just wanna remind you this. Okay. So this is a strategy management framework, and also this is marketing, framework. I recognize most of you well understand the concepts of marketing. All right. In your mind, you have good sense of marketing. Okay. But the problem is, I just, recognize the application is not so great. Okay. So you understand conceptually, okay, marketing steps. Okay. But you've never, actually, you're not good well to apply because I believe you didn't have a chance to practice this. Okay. Probably this simulation is the first time to practice this. Okay? In your job as an MBA, in your future job, okay? So you will be the middle line manager at least. Okay? Then you need to apply your concepts, your knowledge in your mind, okay, into your business, in your job. Okay? So at this time, I want to emphasize this. You need to think about how to apply your knowledge into your business. Okay, you have enough knowledge. Okay, actually, in the business school, okay, all the knowledge are very simple, very straightforward. Okay, the problem is how to apply it. Okay? Okay. How to do it is very simple. Think. All right, think. So you know this, then how to apply this into my job. You continuously think. Then you will recognize, oh, this is it, something like this. Okay? This is what I'm saying. I don't want to give you a knowledge. I want to give you a framework to think the business. I want to change your perspective. Okay? This is it. Okay? That's what I want in this class. Okay? All right. Great. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
For production, we kept it pretty similar to last time. So we kept it in the USA with China second and Germany. We had very minimal production in those countries. We wanted to keep inventory very low so that we don't have excess. And the goal remains to meet demand without having an exponential amount of inventory left. So we still kept it low like last time and played it pretty safe.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
So we still remained with our same strategy of trying to determine all of our decisions before going to look at the financial side of things. And I don't think that we necessarily saw the emergency loan predicted in our finances, but it does make sense because our sales were less than expected. And I believe it's just due to customer accessibility. And going into our final round, we're going to try to cut some of the costs that we erroneously spent in the new module, and then also try to increase accessibility at the same time and try to sell off some of the inventory we have on hand, as well as produce enough to meet the demand.
Okay. Good.
And that's pretty much it for
all right. Good job. Good job. Okay, very concise, formative presentations. Any question, comment on Team Baldwin? Team Baldwin? No? All right, then let's move. We have one last team. Team Digby. Team Digby. So Team Digby, who is going to be presenter? Sierra? Okay. All right, Sierra, you're the presenter. Okay, you take your time. All right, so talk about this. Thanks.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, it is working. It is working. All right, major decisions. Team Digby.
This is our major decisions from round 4. We're Team Digby. So we're just going to kind of go over what we focused on this round, our decisions, and then our conclusions. So for this round, we kind of focused on increasing our product accessibility because that's something we've been lacking in past rounds. We also were very conscientious of where our inventory was and how we can prevent having any inventory excess sitting on our shelf. We also wanted to focus on giving the high-tech customers kind of exactly what they want, and also making our stock more attractive. So we kind of figured dividends. We also wanted to make sure we didn't have any emergency loans, and we didn't really want to invest in anything that had delayed rewards just because we're closing out the ending rounds.
As far as R&D, I think we just are continuing to follow a focused product differentiation strategy. So we're just moving in that direction.
For marketing, we've really just focused on the high-tech market. So we kind of kept our prices. We increased our prices about 2 rounds ago. So in round 3, we increased them and we kept them the same for this round. They're all about $41 in US dollars if you convert the German and Chinese price. And we've also had we increased our sales budgets just to try and increase that accessibility. And it's really paid off for us, as you can see, gaining a large portion of the market share in the high-tech markets for each country.
Okay.
And for production, our main plant is in the USA, and this round we increased our inventories, or altered them at least, not necessarily increased all of them. But in the USA, we moved it to 224, in Germany 77, and then in China 231. And then in the next round, our capacity will be at about 2,200, and then our automation will be at about 8.
You are now unmuted.
So for our financial decisions, we continue to do a cost and forecasted model. So looking at what costs are going to be for this this submission and our predicted demand and predicted revenue is how we determine how much debt to take out. So as you can see, we took a little bit of current debt and long-term debt, but we also repaid a great portion of that. We had a good ending cash position. We increased our dividend, which was worth it because our stock price increased, and obviously we still have some shares outstanding.
Okay, for our human resources segment, we decided to increase our investment in those areas. I think we did the same thing last round as well. So just our different departments within human resources and our different levels of employees, investing a little bit more in scientists, manufacturing, and sales. You can see the different amounts that we decided for each investment there.
Okay.
And then the other thing that we noticed this round within human resources was this kind of new section about total quality management. And so you can see we decided to go ahead and invest in all of these different segments within the quality management and within human resources. One thing we decided to do was have pretty similar investments within each of these segments, just because we weren't totally sure what the payoff or the result would be. So we wanted to try to keep everything kind of in the same ballpark in this area.
So kind of what we concluded based off our decisions, it feels like we have finally made a significant increase in that accessibility. We've just kind of watched it sit pretty low the last few rounds, but this round we've actually seen it increase. We're also very happy we stayed mindful of that excess inventory, but we still could reduce the excess slightly. We think that we would really like to maintain the strategy of giving the customers exactly what they want in terms of speed and accuracy for that high-tech market. And we did debate the dividends significantly, but like Ryan said, it did pay off for us in the long term in terms of increasing our stock price. And then we just also would like to continue to invest in things that will give us rewards immediately, just because we are so close to finishing out the simulation.
All right. Good job. Okay. Good presentations. Okay. Any question, comment on Team Digby? Team Digby. All right. Good. Good. All right. Everyone did a good job. It's very concise and informative presentations. So you can evaluate these presentations on Canvas. Okay. All right. So we still have round 5, right? So we've done round 4 so far. So we still have round 5. After round 5, probably the due decision is tomorrow. So after tomorrow, okay, I'm gonna adjust your rank and I'm gonna give you the final grade. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do my best to be generous to give you good points. Okay? Because I gave curve a lot already, so the actually your average score is inflated. So your median score is already some 9 something. Okay, so I don't see anyone who will fail this class, but the median score is higher than 90. So some students who are still who are higher than 90, but still have B, because I cannot give everyone A. So I just want to let you know this. Okay, your scores are inflated. So I'm gonna say it. Okay, but I promise I'm gonna do my best to give the better the grade for MBAs. Okay, all right. So I want to conclude this semester. So at the beginning of the semester, we had a little bit schedule issues, but at the beginning of the semester, we talked about some new trends of the strategy management with my papers, and then we studied with the definition of strategy management and environments, external, internal environments. Okay, and then we moved to the 3 levels of strategy. 3 levels of strategy: departmental strategy, business level strategy, corporation level strategy. Departmental level strategy are focused on efficiency. Business level, how to compete. Okay? How to compete. Corporation level, where to compete. Where to compete. So we talked about this main framework of the strategy management. Then we moved to the simulations for the application of strategic thinking. All right, and you are doing the simulations. Okay, so you practice how to apply the strategic thinking into the reality. All right, actually this experience, this practice will help you to think about your job in your business. Okay, because you're an MBA, you will have your job will be very close to this practice. Okay, middle level or the higher level of managers. Okay, leaders. So good. Okay, I really enjoyed this class. Okay? I really enjoyed this class. I was so proud of you. Okay? And also in this semester, I had a couple of the undergraduate classes. They did well too. So I'm really happy with my students and this semester. Okay, you did a great job. Okay, all right. I highly appreciate your passion to learn and also your performance so far. Okay, so the only thing we have is round 5. Okay, so I'm gonna see how you will do round 5. Then I'm gonna give the final grade. Okay, so I'm gonna ask lastly, any question, comment before we go? Any question, comment? So if you don't have any question, comment, you are free to go. You did a great job. It was a wonderful class. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carson. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Chandler. Tyler, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, Dr.
Thank you, Ryan. All right. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Nick. Everyone, thank you so much. Okay? Thank you so much. You did a great job. I love your performance. Okay? All right, good job. Thank you, Nick. Huh? All right, good, perfect.
You are currently the only person in this conference.